Right now on Jamaica News Page tonight, frightening moments unfold in the Rio Grande Valley after this taxi carrying students crashes into this rural school bus. Tonight, the alarming number of passengers who were inside the taxi and what the Minister of Transport has to say. Also tonight, a chaos near the gates of the University of the West Indies after an off-duty policeman opens fire, hitting a woman. We're tracking the latest developments. And a terror in Port Maria after two Chinese supermarket operators are injured during an early morning robbery. What else police are revealing tonight? Plus, convicted drug dealer and dancehall entertainer Flippa Mafia is back in federal custody in the United States. What charges is he facing tonight? And there's good news tonight. This 18884 Gaspro jingle has gone viral with a heartwarming ending. Welcome back to Jamaica News Page tonight, news that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay connected. Thank you for joining us, Richard Edwards. Jamaica News Page tonight starts right now. We begin tonight in Portland, where several students were treated and released following a frightening crash involving an alleged illegal taxi and a government-operated rural school bus in the Rio Grande Valley on Monday morning. The collision happened here in the vicinity of Tom's Hope after this taxi, reportedly carrying 7 students plus the driver, allegedly sped around the corner before the driver slammed on the brakes to avoid a collision with the school bus. But investigators say the vehicle failed to stop in time and instead slid into the bus. The students and the taxi driver were rushed to the Port Antonio hospital where they were treated for minor injuries. No injuries were reported among the 7 persons aboard the school bus, and authorities say the bus sustained no major damage. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Dawa Vaz says the incident placed 15 lives at risk, adding that, quote, the buses are built for the protection of our students, end quote. The minister also defends the monitoring and security systems built into the rural school bus system, saying the technology helps to better protect students and drivers. Mr. Vaz also criticizes what he describes as reckless and lawless behavior on the nation's roads, warning that the outcome could have been far worse if another type of vehicle had been involved. Investigations are continuing. And now to this developing story out of St. Andrew. Police are investigating a shooting incident near the gates of the University of the West Indies, Mona, where a woman was shot and injured by an off-duty policeman following a dispute with a taxi operator on Tuesday afternoon. Jamaica News Page understands that about 4:30 this afternoon, the woman allegedly attacked a taxi driver with a knife during an altercation near the university's main gate. An off-duty policeman who was passing by reportedly intervened and ordered the woman to stop. Investigators say the woman allegedly ignored the commands and again moved toward the taxi driver, prompting the policeman to discharge his firearm, hitting her in the leg. She was taken to the University Hospital of the West Indies for treatment. However, her condition remains unknown. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has since been notified. Also developing tonight, 2 women who operate a supermarket in Port Maria, St. Mary, are recovering in hospital after they were reportedly robbed and injured during an early morning break-in on Tuesday. According to investigators, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., 4 masked men allegedly gained entry to the establishment after removing sections of concrete, securing a metal grill to the building. The gunmen reportedly forced the woman downstairs, ransacked the premises, and escaped with an undisclosed sum of cash. Both women reportedly sustained facial injuries during the incident and were taken to hospital for treatment.
Sorry to say, but they are the only one in Portmore here that doesn't have a security around them. And you have to have a security to hold it. The world is running right now. We all need security anywhere we go. If I'm police, we still need security. Without security, where is what we're going to, what will happen?
The St. Mary police are now probing the matter. And still in St. Mary, a 19-year-old hairstylist and a 30-year-old construction worker have been arrested and charged after allegedly attempting to smuggle contraband into the Anota Bay police lockup. Investigators say lawmen observed suspicious activity involving the two individuals when inmates were reportedly seen pulling an item through a cell window. The item allegedly fell to the ground and was found to contain 6 cigarettes wrapped in a transparent plastic bag. The two suspects, identified as Ikelia Richards and Romero Forbes, were subsequently arrested and charged. Police say a third suspect fled the scene and is currently being sought. We're also following this developing story from overseas. Convicted drug dealer and dancehall entertainer Flippa Mafia is back in federal custody in the United States on major drug charges. The entertainer, whose given name is Andrew Davis, has been charged with possession and intent to distribute cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl, along with Damian Jones, James McBride, and Clifford Brown. Federal authorities say Flippa Mafia, who they also refer to as Flippa Magala, and the Flossing King, has been under surveillance since August of last year. Investigators claim they monitored alleged drug drops and wiretapped his phone during a 9-month investigation. Now, according to court documents unsealed on Monday, investigators allegedly intercepted several conversations involving the entertainer. In one of those conversations, authorities claim he was heard saying, quote, "I'm just glad for my freedom. I'm not doing any boss thing because the boss thing nearly gave me life in prison." Investigators interpreted that statement as an attempt to keep his alleged operation small in order to avoid attracting attention from law enforcement. And in another alleged conversation, authorities claim Flippa Mafia told an unidentified woman, quote, "I don't want to put my hand too far where I cannot reach it. I've been wanting a Lambo. I have to get a business first because then I'm going to draw extra attention to myself. And if the heat comes and the problems come, you will hear that I'm an idiot." End quote. Authorities say the investigation later expanded to Davis's iCloud account, where they reportedly found photos of suspected drug paraphernalia along with receipts and labels tied to alleged drug shipments. Several packages containing suspected narcotics were also reportedly intercepted. Federal investigators say the surveillance operation continued until May 5, while packages allegedly containing drugs were intercepted on May 9. Davis and his co-accused were arrested on May 11 and appeared before the courts the next day. They are expected to return to court on Thursday, May 14, and will remain in the custody of U.S. Marshals until then. Flippa Mafia has been on parole since 2022 after being sentenced on a separate drug charge in 2016. Back home, the Ministry of Health and Wellness says it is moving to address critical staff shortages across Jamaica's healthcare system through the creation of a new international recruitment unit. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the unit will coordinate overseas recruitment efforts for nurses and specialists in key areas including intensive care, oncology, pediatrics, psychiatry, and renal dialysis. Dr. Tufton says memoranda of understanding have already been signed with India, Nigeria, and Ghana, while more than 70 specialist nurses from the diaspora have already been interviewed as part of the recruitment push. You may visit moh.gov.jm to learn more. And speaking of healthcare, a pioneering healthcare professional in St. Anne is celebrating an extraordinary milestone after dedicating decades of her life to caring for mothers, babies, and the elderly. Miss Dorette Maywood recently celebrated her 100th birthday surrounded by family and friends in Brownstown, St. Anne. Born in Bethany in 1926, Miss Wood later traveled to England to study nursing before returning to Jamaica in 1960. Just 1 year later, she founded the Rest Haven Maternity Home in Brownstown, becoming a trailblazer in maternal and prenatal health care in the parish. Family members say she cared for countless mothers over the years, teaching many young women how to properly care for their newborns after giving birth. One of her adopted daughters, Ruth Heron, says Miss Wood was also a pioneering entrepreneur at a time when very few Black women owned businesses in Jamaica. Despite now living with dementia and losing her sight in recent months, relatives say Miss Wood still recites Bible verses from memory and continues to inspire those around her through her faith and generosity. Her adopted daughter, Karen Ware, says Miss Wood's compassion for the elderly inspired her to eventually open her own nursing home in St. Anne. As she celebrated her 100th birthday, loved ones reflected on a life defined by service, discipline, faith, and a lasting impact on generations. Congratulations on your milestone, Miss Wood, and well done.
1, 2, 3.
Gaspro. That's the only number you need to know. 1884 Gaspro. Safety first, that's for sure. The price when you're ready to lie. They are not confirmed.
18884 Gaspro. Don't you remember that commercial? What started as a fun moment with Dale Hunnigan teaching his American students a little bit of Jamaican culture has now turned into something much bigger than anyone expected.
1884 Gaspro. That's the only number you need to know. 1884 Gaspro.
What's happening here?
That's for sure. Hi, Mommy. On behalf of Massey Gas Products, under the brand Gaspro, we would like to present you with this wonderful basket. This is from us to you because your wonderful son, Dale, he taught his students the Gaspro jingle, and that video went viral.
Thank you so very, very much. This is really, really a surprise. Is it alright for me to give you a phone?
Sure. Happy Mother's Day when it comes from Gaspro.
So, in addition, Mommy, in your basket is included 1 year supply of cooking gas.
What began as a simple cultural moment online has now become a real blessing for his family, and many people on social media are praising how everything came full circle. Moments like these truly show the power of spreading joy, culture, and positivity. 18884 Gaspro. And that's the news on Jamaica News Page tonight. News that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica. And we're powered by viewers just like you. Please leave a comment so we can welcome you with a shout out. Thank you for joining us, Richard Edwards. And also thank you for watching Jamaica News Page tonight. We'll see you in the comments. And be sure to like, share, and join us again for more news. From all of us here, we appreciate you. Good night.